I'm going too fast. Anyway, now that I'm going the speed limit, I would just like to talk about my tri-spokes. This is a lifelong dream, and by lifelong I mean my small bike lifelong. I've always wanted to have a set of tri-spokes on my Honda Wave, and now I do, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, life is pretty dang cool. So this is my first ride, and it's been an interesting ride so far because I've had a lot of changes on this Wave. I got this Wave, which is a 2015 model. I got this in 2020, just before COVID hit. I mean, I got it, I changed it from white to greeny blue. I took this spine rack off, put heated grips on. I had adventure tires on the front and the rear for a while, and that was super cool because that was like an off-road Honda Wave. Always had the front basket on, which I'm going to put back on real soon because I do miss it. And then eventually I got a 143cc big bore kit with big valves, a race head, and I eventually got around to putting that on. I also got a set of drag wheels. Got the bike dynoed. It's producing about 16 horsepower now. Top end's really not that much better. It gets there a lot quicker, and it will hold a lot heavier weights. And you could go 2 up or 3 up even in 4th gear at 60 kilometers an hour and be fine. Whereas before you were 3rd ringing it out. So the power improvement is really, really impressive. There's a local dude, Zach, who's put a 181 kit on his Honda Monkey, and there's a lot of different things you can do, and there's a lot of things that get you speed, but I'm not really fussed about having a dramatic amount of speed. So where we are now is I've got the high beam on. Oh, what a moron. That if you ride with the high beam on, you suck, unless you need it. There's no reason. And there's a couple people out there that make motorcycle specific videos that do it all as one person. I'm talking about a singular person. Anyway, woo, intersection. I've been talking crap and rambling for a good few minutes now, so let's finish this up. This thing now has tri-spokes on it. The 1433 kit is installed and dynoed, and it's kind of all good in that respect. And I haven't really ridden a dramatic amount since then. It's at 13,500 k's. It's still at a distance now where it can be a mint supreme bike for another 10-20 years if I look after it really well from now on, which I do plan to do. So that's kind of my Wave update. I've got drag wheels that I had on before I put these on, and then I haven't actually ended up doing any drag racing yet, but I've just sourced a slick for the rear, so I'll continue to use the drag racing rear rim with a slick on it to do some strip runs, see how it goes there, and just play around with it. And if I start launching the thing and destroying it, then I'll probably stop drag racing it. So I like this. It's like my second child. Small Bike Stuff update. Hey, Small Bike Stuff watchers, welcome to this episode of Small Bike Stuff. What are we going to be doing this year? It'll be a bit different. So I'm in New Zealand at the moment, and I've still got videos coming out like I'm in Thailand. I planned it that way on purpose. I have a life and I've got things I need to do, just like you. We're all normal humans. And what I've done is filmed quite a lot, edited quite a lot while I was still in Thailand, and that's basically what's been released up until now. I've only got about 2 more videos kind of ahead of this, and I really need to edit a whole bunch more because I've got 5 or 6 more Thai ones waiting, and then we'll be jumping on to New Zealand videos. I've taken on a new full-time job that means I'm going to be making videos for that as well, so the Small Bike Stuff is just going to be more regular and solid. I'll definitely be doing a release a week if at all possible, and I'll be trying to push my other channel, Moving Our World, because last year I kind of stopped uploading on Small Bike Stuff, got a bit sick of bikes. Not sick of bikes, sick of making videos about small bikes in my city. I just kind of ran out of inspiration, but now I've replenished that inspiration and life's good. I'll come here just to take some cool photos by the water, but the tide's out. Be cool if we can get 15,000 subscribers this year. We're about to hit 10, and that's going to be a bit of a milestone. I'm pretty stoked. Let's go take a picture of my bike here. Oh, visor up. Anyway, I'm talking about my channel. YouTube's a funny thing. Like, I feel like I have a real low engagement rate, as in the watchers and viewers of my channel don't really interact that much with it, and I wonder, like, is that because I'm not really worth interacting with, or do they just not enjoy the content? Do I have a lot of viewers? And I know this for a fact that I do have quite a lot of viewers from other countries that English isn't the main language. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure if that's kind of the full reason or what. But yeah, you know, I would genuinely love way more interaction on the channel, and I'm working towards that. So I'm trying to post more on all different platforms, social medias. I've always tried to, but I've always fell off. But I'm really making a considered effort to try upload videos on small bike stuff, Instagram, TikTok, basically everything. And yeah, I'm probably not meant to do this, but my bike fits through the gap. I love this city. It's a beautiful place to live. A really beautiful place. What are we? Second. Come on, needs to get up in the revs before it's got power, eh? Woo! Alright, so if we go tune, jump off to idle ramble, not because we want to do it, just it gives me my engine temp 101 degrees Celsius. It's not bad. So yeah, where we're up to. Engagement on the channel is what it is. I hope it gets better. I do put quite a bit of effort into some of these videos. Some of them I just do bang out, you know. This bike, I'm going to use it a lot this year. I've got a big trip planned on it within New Zealand that hopefully I can actually make work. I might need to throw an oil cooler on it before then. That's why I'm checking the temp on the Full Stand Next ECU app, because it takes the temp of the oil and kind of tells you on the screen, and it's somewhat relevant, useful information. You kind of know from that temp how your bike's running, especially at long periods of wide open, which I haven't really done on this tune yet, but you know, it should be very safe based on how we dynoed it.